Whatever you feel like it, but you know, a couple of jabs in between.
Oh.
Okay, pick a spot.
Sifu, can I record it?
Huh?
Can I record it? My camera?
Yeah, if you, how are you going to set it up?
I don't know, I'll put it somewhere.
Put it over where I put mine. Let's turn mine off.
You got a DV, video camera, you can bring it up.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard to set up on.
Well, I put mine right up in the camera right there. Look, Chuck, just use my spot.
Let's get to fucking class, man. Look, lean it, just like that.
Use that little camera. And I lean mine right there and it just captures the whole room.
Yeah, it's set up where you can see it. It's hard to me.
Square, right?
Yeah, well, that's right.
Jab, 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 cross. Jab, jab. Oh, both vertical.
That clunking noise, when it goes clunk, clunk like that, it means you hit it here, here, yeah, it jumps up. So you're a little late on the hit. Go left side.
Okay.
Let's see. And go, let's just go ahead. That one. Cross, what is, oh, good. Oh, vertical. Cross. In the air, right? stay on the bed, but you're gonna go the horizontal hammer fist, alternating feet square. Good, yeah. And you're gonna go. Go down, yeah, cross, yeah.
And
You
then
gotta
back to
be
jab.
careful with that.
Okay.
Get a little lighter and we'll go come back through it.
So that's what.
Okay. Review the footwork. Face the mirror, right lead. 1, 1, 1, 1, A, 1, A, 1, 1, 5,
Ah, backwards.
forward refoot. No.
Bring your foot up.
Bring your front foot, rear foot up. Yeah. 1, 1, A, 1, 1, 1, 1, A, 1, A, 1, A, 1, 1. Okay, go straight on those, straight, yeah. 1, A,
Oh.
A, 1, 5, 2.
Oh.
Right step forward. Numbers forward,
Oh, yeah,
numbers
yeah.
back. 2, 2. Okay, now remember this one we got an angle, otherwise we're gonna end up too narrow. So we gotta bring a heel to the heel, angle just enough to get your alignment. 1, 1, 1. Drag step. 1. Now you're doing a step drag, didn't you?
Said
I'm
one.
sorry, my fault. I'm calling 1. I'm thinking 2. B, 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 2, B, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, B, B, 2, B, 2, B, 2, B, 2, B, 2, B, 2, B, 2B, forward back, 2B, 2B, B, 2, B, 2, B, 2, B, 2, B, 2, B, 2, B2, B2, 5, 2, 2, B, 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 2, 2, 2, 2, B, 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 2, 2, 2, 2, B, 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 2, B, 2, B, 2, B, 2, B, 2, B, 2B, 2B, 5, 5, 5, 6, 5, 6, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, left, right, 5, right, left, left, right, 3, 3, C, C, step first, C, step the rear foot first, going back, step the front foot first, going forward. 3, step first, 3, step, drag, step.
Step, drag,
Right. 3, you don't flip it over there. Step, drag, step. 3, 3, and going back, step, drag, step. C, step first. C, C, 3, 3, 3, C, C, C. All right, check it out. Not too bad. What caused your car to burn up?
Huh?
Caused your car to burn up?
Had a terrorist.
Huh?
My ex-girlfriend's boyfriend.
Oh, you're kidding.
I wish I was.
Did you get him for it? No?
Haven't seen him since. I think he poked a hole in my gas line.
Nice.
I know, right?
Could end up killing him. Huh?
That's what the Army's teaching him.
Huh?
That's what the Army's teaching him.
Oh, yeah, good.
guerrilla warfare.
Sabotage.
When I was I was a medic in the reserve, in an armored battalion, and summer camp, they never had enough guys to man the tanks. So, if you're in a Jeep and you're a medic, you're out in the open, and all the officers give you a bunch of crap. So, they were short a gunner and a loader in one of the tanks, so I volunteered. And that way I'm away from the officers, they can't see me, I'm still able to treat these guys if I'm getting hurt, you know. Plus I had a ball. I get to shoot the 90mm gun, you know, and we were shooting at, we ran out of targets, so we're shooting at jackrabbits, cell phone poles. It spoiled me. I never got a kick out of shooting a 22 after that, you know. But these 90mm about 40 pounds, about this long.
Yeah.
And when you shove them in the breech, your hand goes like this. Otherwise, the minute it hits the last little trigger in there, the breech goes BAM! And it's a piece of block of steel like that. So you got to go like this. Then you get out of the way and tap the gunner on the head. The breech, the whole inside comes back and stops about this far from a steel plate. So you got to make sure you're not in line with that. You know, a lot of people die from that. But but I'm really not that dangerous. Looks like I got a 90mm behind me. Tanks are a lot of fun, but unless there's somebody shooting at you, you know, in metal coffins.
Yeah.
I was a tank commander on an APC, which is a armored personnel carrier.
Yeah.
That was like being inside of a cement mixer with all the rocks.
Oh shit.
And you got no suspension, like a tank goes like this. APC goes like this. You know, that's why I got a broken back, probably. Anyway, let's see, what else we can work on. You guys still got your sticks?
I got it, yeah, at home.
Huh?
At home, I forgot to bring it.
Okay, bring them next time. You got it?
I have your stick.
Okay. I don't have any loaner ones. I've given all mine out.
Yeah, I have it. We have them in the house.
One of my students made me this.
Oh, that's
Once
good.
in a while my back dictates that I gotta use something like this, but
That's cool.
yeah.
It's rattan?
Huh?
Rattan?
What?
What kind of wood is
Oh, I don't know. It made it look like bamboo, but it's
Yeah.
solid.
it? Yeah.
You know, so that, you know, you can,
Well,
if you want to use this end,
Yeah.
it's a nice little tool.
Yeah.
It's fast. Thing was light. Yeah, we haven't had much chance to practice with our sticks, though.
Huh?
We haven't had much chance to practice with them, though.
Yeah.
I was.
What's nice to know is they're legal.
The cane.
Yeah, because if you beat somebody up with a stick, they're going to want a doctor to verify that you have to use the cane sometimes, you know. I wouldn't have any problem, but if you're younger and you're walking around with a big stick, they frown on that.
Yeah.
You know.
My friend, he's blind.
Huh?
My friend is blind.
Yeah.
He's always carrying around a big
Yeah.
stick.
She's got
I gave
close there.
my dad one. I was going out with a lady who her husband was ex-cop, and when they split, he left this thing there. He took off a little 15-year-old kid. It's I don't know if I showed it to you. It's a black cane wrapped with electrical tape. But you go like this, and you got a double-edged sword about that long.
Oh man, that's
Yeah.
illegal. That's cool.
So my dad was having some problems in his neighborhood with some kids harassing him when he walked. So I loaned it to him, but he said he gave it back. He said, "You know, I'm liable to use this." So I made him one similar to that,
Yeah.
and he walked with that. But,
How old is your dad?
when I bought, he's passed away, but he was about 80.
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
But he got into a fight with some hippie dude down the street, parked his car across the driveway. My dad kept writing on the sidewalk, you know, I'm not supposed to park the car here. The guy could have pulled in 10 feet. And a lot of people walked, older people in that neighborhood, and they'd have to go around the car into the street. So one day my dad comes by, the car's out there again, he's got a piece of chalk, he writes on the car. The next day he goes by, there's a woman out in front, and he says, you know, you're not supposed to park the car there. He said, are you the one who wrote on the car? He says, yeah. And then this hippie dude comes walking out of the car, or out of the house, and says, you do that again, I'll bury you. And my dad says, you mean like this? He was feisty old man. And anyway, they got into it, and this guy attacked my dad, 21-year-old guy. And right away, my dad got a good punch on him. All he had was one hand. He had a same bicep problem, and he had an operation on it that didn't work too well. So he was a left foot boxer, so he caught him with a cross, and that knocked him down. So the guy got back up, and my dad had one arm or a hand around a leash of the little dog, and he tripped over the dog and went down. This guy was going to kick him while he was on the ground. And so then he tried to come in and punch my dad. My dad grabbed his beard and pulled him down. When he got up, my dad had a can of mace. But he was just really depressed because he couldn't whip this kid. Yeah, 80-year-old, what do you expect, and out of shape, and, you know, and so anyway, we went, a friend and I went over there and we had a talk with this guy. He moved out of the neighborhood. But, you know, I'm thinking, what would I do now? I only got one arm. I could still block with this one, you know. If I had to shoot across, I could do it once. Gotta make sure it works. But a hook's my best shot anyway, so.
Yeah.
And I haven't lost a whole lot other than that. I'm 73 now, so I think I'm 80. I'll still be reasonably dangerous for about a minute and a half. I've been using the ski machine, so my heart rate's good and my aerobic's not too bad. But just my back dictates nerves in my legs, and sometimes they don't work the way they should, you know. What happens when you get older? I don't like the word old. Older's all right. Okay, you guys got to know some history here. The idea, I've had these students come in and, oh yeah, I'm a black belt on Taekwondo. And I said, well, who's your instructor? He's I forget his name.
It's terrible.
Yeah, or, well, what system did you take? Some Kung Fu style. Well, where did it come from? I don't know. But you're supposed to know that stuff, especially in our case, because I want people to be able to pass it on to somebody else. And so, you got to know where Bruce Lee was born, or was he born?
In China?
Huh?
In China?
No?
No.
San Francisco.
San Francisco? Didn't he move right?
He moved back to China, and he was raised there until he was college age. Hong Kong was the area he was raised in. He was in a street gang, and apparently he got to think of what would he do if he didn't have these guys backing him up. And that's when his dad got him into, I think he studied Tai Chi before, first from his dad. Tai Chi Chuan, you know what that is?
Yeah.
It's a real
Slow.
fluid, slow system, mainly for health benefits rather than fighting. And then his dad introduced him to a guy named Yip Man, who was the head of the Wing Chun system.
Yeah.
And that's where he trained. His other physical ability was in Cha-Cha. He was a Cha-Cha champion in Hong Kong. So maybe that's where he got his footwork. But, he never did complete the Wing Chun system. He never got certified as an instructor. You were either a student or an instructor, nothing in between. And he was never certified, but I believe he surpassed his instructor at that point. as far as fighting is concerned. And he'd seen some inconsistencies in Wing Chun. When he got back to the States, you know, where he started going to school?
In Los Angeles?
Seattle,
Seattle.
Washington. He went to the University of Seattle, I think it was. The University of Washington in Seattle. And he was working at a restaurant, friend of his parents, Ruby Lee. And he was training guys in the basement of the, so he started training. His first assistant is still alive, right, in Seattle, Taki Kimura, a Japanese guy. After that, where was Bruce's next school? You have any idea? Oakland, California. And that's where he started modifying it. The reason he started modifying it was he ran into, at that point in time, back in the 50s and 60s, the Chinese weren't teaching Caucasians at all. So if you were in Kung Fu, you didn't teach anybody outside of the Asians. And he had a guy come up and challenge him, and the agreement was that if this guy beat him, Bruce would close the school. And Bruce said, okay. But Bruce was still mainly Wing Chun then, and that would, Wing Chun wants you to come into them. If you stay outside of their range where they can't get at you, then they're not so effective. And the guy that he worked against was one of these guys who moves around a lot. So it lasted about 3 minutes. Bruce ended up chasing the guy around the room, beating on the back of his head, you know, and the guy finally gave up. But that's when Bruce started Western boxing. He added some of the kicks from different Kung Fu styles and heavy conditioning. And that was, at that point, it became a modified Wing Chun. When he got to LA, then it was, at that point, modified even more into Jeet Kune Do, which means what?
The way of the intercepting fist.
Way of the stopping or intercepting fist.
Stopping.
He gave out 3 certificates. One was in Seattle, was in modified Wing Chun, but I think it was the Tao of Chinese Kung Fu, something like that. Then the next certificate he gave out in Oakland was, I gotta look this up myself. And then he gave the Jeet Kune Do certificate in Chinatown, where I was. Danny Asano, who was his assistant in LA, has all those certificates. He's the only one that has all 3. So there really is no doubt on who was left with the reins of Jeet Kune Do. It's Danny Asano. And whatever way he's taken it, that's his option. You know, a lot of people now talk about, oh, he's doing a lot of weird stuff. He's tried to take the Filipino arts to the same point that Bruce took the empty hand. And he succeeded in improving the style because he had that ability that Bruce saw to cut away the unessential stuff. Like Bruce did it in the martial arts, the empty hands, and Dan did it in the sticks. So a lot of the stuff that we initially learned in the sticks where Dan was training, we don't do anymore because it's not logical. So he's the man, no matter what anybody says. Tim Lukai, whose system we teach, Lukai, was the first guy to graduate in both Jeet Kune Do and Kali. I think from what I've seen on videos, he surpassed Dan even in the ability to use the sticks effectively. I've got some tapes you have to see sometime. He really is sharp with a stick, and I'll never reach that point. Just like I'll never reach the point Bruce did, you know, in Jeet Kune Do. Not anybody around will, I think. But There may be somebody sometime. No, I don't think so in my lifetime, but anyway, you should know my training procedure also, where I came from. I initially started boxing when my dad, he was a Western boxer. Could have turned pro, but my mother wouldn't let him. Figured he'd get his head beat in. Back then, they didn't stop it. You know, he could have bled to death, they wouldn't have stopped it till he passed out. But two types of boxing primarily. The one that my dad was in, they don't block a lot. They block the hook, they'll bob and weave, but they don't catch a jab. They catch them on the arms and stuff. They either hold their hands this way or this way. And that's what my dad did, which is all right. But I prefer to pick them off instead of getting hit with them, you know. What got me into it was coming home one night, late at night, just had an argument with my girlfriend, you know, pissed off, and this guy's coming up my street with his hot bright lights on, so I blinked at him, he kept them on. So the summertime, windows are open, when he went by, I gave him the ¡1 sign and said something. And I pulled into my driveway. I was living with my parents, and he backed up and stopped right across the street. So I sat back on the bumper of the car like this, you know, see what he's going to do. Well, he just stayed there. And then pretty soon another car drove up, stopped, behind him. So what's going on? And I said, I don't know, what's going on with this guy in the front. They're all buddies, three of them coming from the same party. The guy in the first car, I seen him at elementary and junior high and high school. Give guys concussions. You get them on the ground, beat them to the blood from their ears. He's about this tall, about that wide, no neck. And I'm thinking, man, I've got problems with this guy. I played basketball, church basketball with the guy, and he'd go for the ball, boom! You know, catch the guy with the elbow, accidentally, of course. Just a nasty guy. The other two I wasn't too worried about, but they all formed a little circle around me telling me what they're going to do to me, see, so I'm thinking, well, you know, I would like to go in the house now. So I said, you guys going to start punching or are you going to keep yakking? And they just kept like this, so I just nonchalantly strolled. I wanted to run, but I strolled into the house. Dad usually woke up when I get in because he knew exactly when I came in, you know. Sound asleep. I went in there and said, what's the matter with you? I figured the three of us, or two of us, could take these three guys, you know. Anyway, about a week later, I was in the Mormon church, and I mentioned it to one of my buddies there. He said, oh, you ought to take karate from Ed Parker. He's in the church here. I said, what's that? You know, nobody knew what it was. So I started training with him in Kempo till I got my black belt, till third, fourth black. Anyway, I used to try to impress the girls. Well, yeah, I take Kempo karate. No, what? We're impressed. Didn't do any good, you know. Now everybody knows what karate is and kung fu is, but back then they didn't. So I trained with Ed, and then one time there was a rumor. We did the international tournament in Long Beach, and I was the head of the supply committee there. And the rumor was that some guy was really coming down from up in Washington or something was going to do a demo that was really good. And so I had my camera there. That's where I took those shots. And it was Bruce Lee. Danny Asano, who became his assistant, who also was at Kempo, was my first workout partner in Kempo. So that's primarily the reason I got into it, because about 10 of my buddies, other black belts, went over to Bruce, and they said, yeah, come on down, you know. And so I got permission from Dan to come down, and he says, well, you come in for an interview, you know, and I'll talk to you and explain what what Bruce is going to ask you, and then go from there. So that's what happened. But my first my first meeting with Bruce was on a Saturday with a bunch of new guys, and he used me to act as a dummy. And so he was going to show these guys how much speed he could cover from outside the kicking distance, you know. So I'd seen him in the demos in my movie where he tried to, the Kempo guys would try to block with their lead hand, and he beat him every time. So he knew, he told me where he was going to hit me, you know, it's tapped me right here. So I figured, you know, I just used my cover hand, only got like 5 inches to move, you got to cover 3 feet. Hit me 10 out of 10. Never saw him move. The next thing, you know, he'll tap and his face is about here, and a big smile on his face, you know. And I went down with a buddy, another Kempo guy. He was so shocked that after 10 years of training, this guy could hit him wherever he wanted it. He just blanked it out of his mind, and it never happened. He went right back to Kempo, and that's where he's still teaching, you know. But you look at his website, he says, well, yeah, I researched to reach Jeet Kune Do one day. But anyway, to me it was an awakening because previous to that I got in a fight in the street with which I shouldn't have been into, and this guy was a lot taller and longer arms than me, and I went in with a bunch of kicks and he didn't fall down, you know. Black belt credo says you're supposed to fall down when you get kicked. He hadn't read the credo, I guess. I tried to do some self-defense techniques. Didn't work at all. And this guy was, you know, all arms, man. And finally I'm thinking, you know, I don't want to be in here, and I don't want to hurt this guy. I don't know why I did it in the first place. So instead of just having the guts to walk away from it, I just stayed in there and reverted to boxing. Bobbed and weaved, took a couple shots, glancing shots, and I had nothing solid. And he finally got tired and went home. So I analyzed what had happened after that, or what had happened during the fight, and I pulled my kicks. I caught him, but I had no power, because in sparring and karate, you pull your kicks. If he'd been a heavy bag, I would have killed him. And then the techniques, the hand techniques didn't work. Each move is all right, but they don't follow a sequence. So if you go to block and I'll punch, and then you hit the guy in the neck or in the solar plexus, hit him in the solar plexus, you're supposed to do this. That sets him up for the next move. If you hit him here, stir him, he's not going to bend forward, he's going to go backwards. So there goes the technique. So anyway, I analyzed that, and at the time Bruce came was just about, I was looking for other things, you know, but I haven't found anything better. So that's where my history comes from. When I was in the backyard group in Chinatown, I was just getting going, and so there was a lot of guys that were a heck of a lot better than me. Danny Lee was one of the best. He was a Kempo black belt. I don't know if he made his black, but I think he was brown. He was a pro boxer in China, and he would kick everybody's ass. He used to eat us up. 5 years he trained with Bruce, and he still couldn't hit him. You take the guy that eliminates almost everybody in the class, and he still can't hit Bruce.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. The other guy in class there was a really good guy named Bremer, but he was an older guy, but he was tall and tough. And he managed to get one in on Bruce. And he said, I thought I was going to die. Because Bruce definitely had an ego, you know. So,
Yeah.
Anyway, that guy is still alive. He's on his last legs now. He's about 85. He was doing pretty good in Chinatown because he's one of the oldest guys there, you know. After Chinatown, a lot of guys didn't continue on with Dan because Bruce wanted the schools closed. because he was too involved in the movies to oversee them. So after he closed Chinatown and Oakland and Seattle, Dan got permission to teach a few guys in his garage. And I was going through my second divorce then, you know. I didn't have the finances or the time. After that, he kind of budgeted a little bit. Bruce is busy in the movies, so they built a gym bigger than this in his backyard. And that's where I started the backyard group. They call it the infamous backyard group. We did a lot of banging there. I mean, guys, in Chinatown we had headgear on, we had body gear, we had boxing gloves. When we got to Dad's backyard, nobody put the headgear on. And I don't remember using the body gear. That's when Danny Lee, the same guy I told you about, broke 2 of my ribs with 3 kicks I never saw, you know. And the next week when I came into class, Danny Lee was, they were sparring in the dark. And there was a board on the wall with little name tags, wooden name tags. And Danny Lee would catch him with a kick on this side, he'd go all over and hit the wall and knock a bunch of those off. And I'm thinking, I'm glad I can't spar this week. We have never got in here to do sparring in the dark. We just haven't got enough guys to that level, which I hope we'll be able to. The other thing is to go 2-on-1 or 3 against 2 and work as a team. You know, put 2 guys here and 3 guys in between them and the door they want to get out of. You don't leave the 3 guys back here and your buddy and go out that door. You work as a team.
Yeah.
When you're working against multiple opponents, you're bound to get hit. The idea is to not get hit hard enough to disable you and then let them overwhelm you, you know. Sparring in the dark is a whole different. We leave a little bit of light on, maybe like outside there, or in case we left the dance door open about this big. You learn how to accelerate your opponent while you're in the dark, you know, and then hit him, get out of the way. You find out, you think you're out of the way, you're out of range, and you get hit because your perception, depth perception, or you think that you're in range to hit a guy and you're catching air. So it's a whole different situation. But it's we call it environmental training, you know.
Yeah.
So you may have to do it sometime.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll most of our time up this time. Next time, bring your sticks, and we'll get going here a little bit more. But we'll do this, refresh your memory on these periodically on the history and that.
Yeah.
You can go in on the internet and get most of Bruce's history. And Dan is on my website. It's not on there right now. I gotta find somebody to do my website. The lady that was living here did it, and when she left, she didn't. She closed it off. So I need somebody that'll do it and update it periodically, because I would list my students' rank, even the ones I didn't like. So the guys that I had to kick out of the studio, I still put their names in there because they deserve the recognition, whether they were assholes or not, you know.
Yeah.
I've only got rid of 2 guys, kicked 2 guys out in my training. One guy was just an obnoxious guy. I got a deal on me sparring him. He's tough. I mean, he didn't want to get hit by the guy. So we sparred for about 20 minutes, and he never touched me. And I banged him around pretty good. When he left, of course, I told him not to come back. Some of the guys that run into him didn't know why he left. I never mentioned it. And he told them that he just could hit me whenever he wanted, so that's why he left. I get that a lot, you know.
Yeah.
guys get real tough once they leave. The other guy was a good friend of mine here. Both of these guys I liked. Just, the other guy beat up on his girlfriend. I mean, he just fractured her jaw, got semi-blindness in one eye because of him. He didn't think there was anything wrong with that, you know. God had forgiven him. Well, I ain't gonna.
Yeah.
You know? I've got in positions with my ex-wife that I wanted to hit them, but I walk away rather than do that. I'm not gonna hit a woman.
Yeah.
Even if she's beating on me, I'll get out of it somehow. I had one girl at Chippy, but she had a couple of kids, and I decided, you know, I didn't want any more of those right now. And then, so I told her that my son was moving out of state, I was going to have to spend a lot of time with him, and we'd get back together later. Then she sees me with another girl at Chapey. So we were in the bookstore, and my assistant was there, and he's over the other aisle where she is, and she's busy talking to this girl about cutting my nuts off. Dude, that's not nice.
Yeah.
Hell hath no scorn like a woman.
Yeah.
You haven't been up here lately to see your mother or anything either, huh?
I was up here a month ago.
Huh?
About a month ago, I came
Yeah.
and saw her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any cards or anything there.
We've been doing better, but we just don't talk
Yeah.
about the past.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes, you know, it's hard with parents. When I left my first wife, I left her with two twin boys, and my dad loved my wife and my boys. So he assumed it was all my fault. So he said, send me a letter telling me what he was going to do to me if he gave me a locked room. So we didn't speak for way over a year. And when I got remarried, I sent an invitation. And in between that time, my ex-father-in-law came over and said, you know, it takes two to make a divorce. It's like two to make a marriage. And that's what led got my dad back to where we would talk together. So we were on good terms when he died, but yeah, you got to think about that, you know, because you only got one mother. Yeah. Even though it's hard sometimes. With my dad towards the end there, we didn't talk much. He did most of the talking, I did most of the listening. And I disagreed with him on almost everything, politics, and it got to the point where Helen and I go over there, and my dad say something, and I'm just ready to argue. Helen give me an elbow in the ribs, you know. So I just listened. But okay, let's close it up here. Job on. You bet. Feel up. Hey, stay away again, and I'll have to go through this whole talking to you again. So
Nice to hear
I
from
want
you.
to do that.
Thank you.
Nice to see you again, Sifu. Now, and, I might be able to help you out with the website.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty good with the computer, so I just gotta figure out what you can do and what you want to put on it.
My old website, if you go in on the what's that? Yeah. What's that encyclopedia on the internet?
Oh, Wikipedia.